Everyone, I love to welcome you to our board meeting. We just came out of closed session, and we will be going back into closed session because we didn't finish all of our business, but that is probably not a huge concern of yours right now. So we want to go ahead and start our open session. And to start our open session, it's always one of my most favorite things that we do at our board meetings is that we open with our Pledge of Allegiance. And Martin Garola, did I pronounce that correctly? Would you like to come lead us, please, sir?
Good evening. I am Martin Garola, and I will be leading all of us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated. And now we would like to welcome our Rossmore chorus to the stage.
Each color has a special meaning that helps define us as a nation.
The color red symbolizes hardiness and valor. The color white symbolizes purity and innocence. The color blue symbolizes validity, innocence,
Rossmore Chorus, that was phenomenal. Thank you very much. Thank you for introducing me to a new song I hadn't heard. And Mrs. Hines taught my children when they were at Rossmore School, and it's good to see you, and thank you very much. So the next thing that we will move into, thank you, is the presentations and reports, and the first report gets to be the President's report. So I would like to share with you this evening, and you will see a little bit later in our meeting one of the reasons that I'm sharing some of this information. But another reason that I'm going to share a lot of this information is that this organization is very close to my heart in a number of different ways. And so she turned it on for me, so then I turned it off. So we're going to talk a little bit about our Education Foundation, and I see many elementary parents in here, and I know that you've come into our schools and that the Education Foundation, LAIF, has just been part of our culture and part of what you're used to. But there's a long history behind it, and it's done some amazing things, but nothing compared to what it's doing now. But I really want to give honor to the history that was behind it. So it was founded in 1982 and became a nonprofit organization. And the purpose at that point in time was to raise funds to build the Performing Arts Center over at the high school. It did that, and then it continued, and in the early 1990s, and this is when I remember first getting involved with LAIF, it was putting forth, being able to do, I believe we did a school run at that point in time for technology, because I know children, it's hard to believe, but the internet and computers have not always been here. And so in 1990, they were beginning to become part of education, and our schools had to figure out how they were actually going to get internet to the schools, because it doesn't just happen by magic. And so that's what the foundation was doing at that point in time. And then they continued to support technology at the high school and a number of other things. And in 2006, the Education Foundation really kind of got a resurgence. And one of the things that happened at that point in time was that some of us who were involved in LAIF at that time went down to Irvine and saw that Irvine had this great foundation that was bringing programs to students, but also supporting the district and being able to support the district in a number of things that the district needed help with, and if also young people, you remember. But 2006, 2008, 2010, we went into this thing called the Great Recession, and school districts, even ours, was really having to figure out how they were going to look at things differently and how they were going to be able to keep the level programs that they wanted for our students. And so it went on to do a number of things. And now LAIF has really evolved into part of our incredible culture here at LaSalle. And with over 1,000 students, what it's really committed to is making it possible for students to participate in all activities. And if students can't afford to do that, they also provide a tremendous amount of scholarships for students as well. Student impact, students being connected, the whole child, that is so important, and LAIF is such an incredible partner when it comes to that. So we're going to introduce some people a little bit later. I didn't talk about people, I just kind of talked about the history, but I just really wanted you to know that it's got a long-standing history and has done a lot of great things and will continue to do great things for you and for your students. So I appreciate you allowing me to kind of give you that little bit of background about LAIF. I see one or two people in here who might have known that history. The rest of you, I bet it was all new news. So the next thing that LAIF does to really support a great program they do, which is our STEAM program and our STEAM fair. How many of you have been to the STEAM fair? Yay, me too. So it is amazing, isn't it? And so LAIF, that is a whole program that LAIF has brought to our school district. And so obviously those things cost money. And so they found some really inventive ways of actually raising funds and raising funds throughout our whole community, not just through our parents, but really incorporating so much of our community into what we do. So there's the King and Queen of Hearts event that's coming up, and that's their big fundraiser. And I would recommend that you find any way you can to support a candidate. You could probably support a candidate with as little as $5 to $10, or to go out and to do something for one of those candidates, or actually come to the gala and have a wonderful time. So it's a wonderful way that they are able to get the word out to the community and then also be able to support the STEAM Fair. These are the Royal Court, and they're working as couples this year. I love that. And so please find somebody that maybe you know or maybe you don't know, make new friends, and find somebody to actually support. One of the other things that I want to add is that they also have something called the Leadership Circle. And I have the honor of wearing one of the gold pins for the Leadership Circle, so you can become a Leadership Circle member as well and continue to support LAIF. We are going to be honoring a little bit later 6 of very, very important members of LAIF, past members of LAIF, who have served over 6 years or over on the board. And so I hope that you stay tuned with me and get a chance to see that. But I just want to thank our wonderful executive director, the board of LAIF, and all of the love that's put in to support all of you and our children. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President, esteemed members of the board, and all of our amazing students, families, and staff here. Yes, and it is not my turn.
It is not.
I was so excited, and then I looked up there and saw, Michaela, you want to switch reports?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, she gets.
I promise you don't.
Oh, you mean presenting each other's reports? Oh,
Yeah,
that would have been
yes.
interesting.
Yeah, just see how well that goes.
You wouldn't want to.
Good evening, President Hill. I'm going to say it again, I'm sorry. Esteemed board members, Dr. Kropp, cabinet, and community, my name is Angelica Montez, and tonight I will tell you how amazing Los Alamitos High School is through our 4 A's. Athletics at Los Alamitos High School. Today I want to highlight our Lady Griffins, who include girls soccer, who have their senior night this Thursday, January 24th. So if you're not doing anything, or if you are doing something, cancel it, because this could be your one opportunity to see our soccer girls, who are #1 in the nation, play. Other Lady Griffins who are absolutely killing it is girls basketball, who recently won over our rivals at Edison with a score of 66-29. So keep up the great work, ladies. To appreciate our fantastic winter sport Griffins at Los Alamitos High School, we are hosting Queen of Courts this Friday at our gym before playing and winning Corona Del Mar. So come and watch our queens trade basketball shoes for heels on Friday. Speaking of heels, formal was January 12th and truly was the best way to welcome in a new year, with a spectacular and literally glowing, as you can see, venue, an amazing DJ, and 1,100 students, which is 1 out of 2 sophomores, juniors, and seniors, to join in the fun. I would also like to thank the hardworking staff who made this beautiful night possible. Thank you. Arts at Los Alamitos High School. This weekend, 25 drama students, or future Oscar winners, in my opinion, participated in the CETA, which is the California Education Theater Association. It was 3 days of competitions, performances, scholarships, and recruitment. Our actor Griffins won first place with Canterbury Tales and Best Actor and Supporting Performance, so keep up the good work, drama. Academics at Los Alamitos High School. Growing Up STEM is having an event at Weaver on February the 13th from 4 to 8. So all our scientists and future scientist Griffins will join together to celebrate their love for science, technology, engineering, and math. This event was also completely student organized and ran. And another student-led club is Models United Nations, which is going to the Whitney Conference this weekend. So good luck to our Griff Muns.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you, and go Griffs.
Does the board have any comments or questions? I actually got to see the Canterbury Tales when they did it, and it was amazing.
It was amazing. The different English accents that the different characters had were phenomenal.
It was very good. Thank you very much.
That's pretty good. Thank you. I think I'm really next.
Yeah.
Angelica, that was awesome, as always. So tonight I'm going to give a couple updates to the board. So again, Madam President, esteemed members of the board, and our guests here today. So the Human Relations Task Force is looking for approximately 30 people to serve. They have received 107 applications, which means 67 or 77 people are going to be disappointed, which is sad, but we'll hopefully have other opportunities that come up through subcommittee work. We have 8 people scoring the applications this Friday. The work, the process, the selection of the 8 people scoring, all of that is being led by our consultant facilitator, Danielle Nava Mijares. And so she'll be giving an update to the board after she's selected these 30 people. Also, she's meeting with the focus group tomorrow as a closeout meeting, and she's made it to 7 of the 9 principals and some of the site teams. So we're making a lot of progress over the holidays. It made it a little bit difficult, but we're super excited. And then just a reminder, these programs that we started this year are really going even stronger. So as you know, the 6th grade summit, and we're planning a 7th and 8th grade summit. We've added the educational component for human relations infractions, and so far, amazing success. Our students say it really has changed them. Additional counseling and support for victims. Upstander training is the newest idea I'm super excited about, where we really teach, we start in middle school, teaching them how to have a voice for good, a voice for change, a voice that when they see something that's not okay, they step up. And sometimes we think that's a lot easier than it is, and even adults have a hard time sometimes speaking up. And so we want to talk about that. Classroom visits, they just did them, I know, so where one of the administrators or counselors or one of their admin teams goes into each and every classroom to talk about this issue. The International Culture Club at McGaw, which was the first place we started, it has that club is amazing, and the events that they've done each month have truly been extraordinary. And then our Start With Hello programs that came out of the Sandy Hook experience, called the Sandy Hook Promise, now has really grown to multiple sites. So we're super happy about that as well. So stay tuned. And then tonight, later on the board agenda, you're going to be getting a resolution in front of you that is about career technical education, because February is Career Technical Education Month. But I want to give a little highlight. As you know, those are programs that specialize in trades, sciences, technologies, and career. And we have a lot of them. And sometimes I think people don't know that we have a lot of them. And that's because we don't think they're mutually exclusive from an A through G curriculum. So especially all you students in here. So we want everyone to have unlimited opportunities when they graduate. That may or may not be college, although 90% of our students do go. We certainly want that as an option. It could be the military. It could be directly to the workforce. There's tons of options. Our job is to have them be unlimited. And so what we want kids to be able to do is have those choices. And one of those is to take a career technical education course. We offer them by our own teachers, and we also offer them by regional occupation program teachers, which we call ROP. And so pathways that we have at our high school: production and managerial arts, education, manufacturing and product design, patient care, networking, communications, and public safety. Career technical courses. So that gives you an idea of the courses that our students can take. And so remember, it's not either or. So we obviously want kids to be able to be successful in an A through G curriculum, but they also should be looking at something that gets them, that they're passionate about, that ignites an aptitude that they have, or something that they might be interested in, that they may or may not one day make a living at. So those are some examples. And then some courses we don't have on our site, but our students take a minimum day and then go to another site to take them. So currently we have students at our high school involved through the ROP program for transportation, manufacturing like welding, patient care if you're in the medical careers, design, visual, and media arts. So that too those are a lot of viable options. And ROP actually has hundreds of courses. Those are just the 4 that our students are in. And then I'll make the case one more time. There's a lot of research out there about what colleges, employers, and the military are looking for. And they're looking for about 90% of the same things. Really good people, people that have integrity, good character, can work in groups, know how to read, write, critical think, those kinds of things. So we believe that those can be for all kids, both of them. So that concludes my report tonight, unless there are any questions.
Are there any questions from the board? Thank you very much, Dr. Kropp. So next we are going to move on to our school report, and who could that be about this evening? So Ms. Belshab, would you like to give us a report on Rossmore Elementary School?
Okay. Good evening, Madam President, esteemed members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Kropp, cabinet, community members, Rossmore parents, and our very own Rossmore Knights that are here with us this evening. I am so honored tonight to be sharing the accomplishments and updating our community about all the amazing things that happen at Rossmore every day. This evening, though, I'm thrilled to share that I have 2 co-presenters with me, some of our 5th grade Knights, and they are super eager to present with me about our school tonight.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Kropp, and community members. My name is Morgan Fitzpatrick. And I am Martin Garola. We are honored and so excited to be here this evening to share all the amazing things happening at Rossmore Elementary.
That's right, we are super excited. So we're going to start, hopefully, if this works, with board priority number 5, providing high-quality facilities to meet the educational needs of our students. We really are constantly beautifying our school, and I don't know if you've been to Rossmore Elementary. Raise your hand if you have. It's pretty awesome, and it's beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about what we've done this year.
One of my jobs in our Night Leadership Council is to help out littlest Knights on the kindergarten yard during recess. As you can see in this picture, our kindergarten students were celebrating Hundreds Day. They are so cute. However, they are actually pointing to the higher fence that was added around the kindergarten yard this year. It also has the beautiful blue privacy added.
That's right, Martin. Not only does this allow it to be visually pleasing, but it definitely adds an additional layer of security. In efforts to support safety on our campus, I know that our community was very, very pleased this last year to see our new fencing that was put up around campus.
Here at Rossmore Elementary, we take pride in our academic accomplishments. You will see our gold ribbon, California Distinguished National Blue Ribbon murals painted to the front of the school as a reminder of our hard work and recognition. Also, we love our I Love LaSalle and Future Griffin murals and are also proud of our Night Pride logos. It is such a great reminder that we love Rossmore and are all future Griffins.
Awesome. Moving on to district priority number 4, managing and allocating financial resources to maximize students' educational experiences is a priority here at Rossmore. So first I have to share that we are truly so fortunate to have such dedicated parents. And we have 2 parent groups that work together as a solid team, our Rossmore PTA and our Friends of Rossmore. They collaboratively work together with myself and our staff as one team with one vision, which is to support teaching and learning and to make dreams come true for our Rossmore Knights. It truly is so incredible.
PTA provides some of my favorites. Our wonderful field trips that are beyond amazing, not to mention Walk Through California in 4th grade and Walk Through Evolution that we just had in 5th grade last week. It was amazing. We literally reenact the American Revolution.
For example, they have purchased new Chromebooks and Chromeboxes, provided new books for our classrooms, and they support teacher collaboration. They also provide Scholastic News and Newsella. Love those current events.
Oh, and you can't forget about our amazing STEM lab. Friends of Rossmore funds us 100%, and we couldn't have a better teacher, Miss Freytet.
So PTA and Friends of Rossmore truly are a dynamic duo. They work tirelessly and passionately to support our nights and to provide experiences that really just open so many doors for everybody. So I know you guys are going to remember these experiences even when they're Griffins. So in order for these parent groups to work together, all of our parents to come together, they're really, really careful about the fundraisers that they choose, because what they want to do is to ensure that those fundraisers bring us together as a community, and really with the common goal of supporting our Rossmore Nights.
Well, Step It Up not only raises funds for our programs, but brings our students together during the Day of Awesomeness. It also brings out the competitive side in our teachers. Look at the picture of our 2nd annual race with Miss Avalos and Mr. Vieira in the obstacle course. This year, sorry Miss Avalos, Mr. Vieira won.
She's training now, I bet.
One of our favorite fundraisers is Friends of Rossmore, a Day in the Life event. Our nights get placed in a raffle if they purchase tickets to be a teacher, principal, or a staff member all day. Just look at this picture of one of our kinder nights, Clayton, who absolutely loved being principal for a day.
Look at that face. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. So I would like to also add that we are thankful for our relationship with LAIF. Our district partnership with LAIF is truly invaluable, like we just talked about earlier this evening. Not only do they provide so many wonderful opportunities after school for enrichment for our nights, but they wholeheartedly support STEM on all of our campuses. This year, although the check says $60,000, Rossmore got $10,000 to support STEM, and we also worked this summer on a grant with Rensselaer Beach to support us in getting extra STEM supplies for our STEM lab. So to address board priority number 3, here at Rossmore, in addition to our strong instructional practices, regular communication with our families and our community is truly key. So how do we do that? Well, our PTA and Friends of Rossmore have gone digital, and they've really stepped up their websites and social media, as well as our Rossmore website and social media. So pretty much anything that you hear about, we refer them back to the website because there's flyers, all information, lots of cool stuff going on, and we make sure we're constantly updating it. So going digital has been really nice. Also, we have a live school calendar that we put together, and it's really neat because some parents are still learning this, but they can actually sync their Google Calendar to it, so it really makes it more efficient if they'd like to do that. It just depends on if they want all those events in their calendar. And obviously, our parents know in here that I use School Messenger like crazy to send emails and voice dialers about, no school on Monday and things like that. We meet with our school site council comprised of classified staff and certificated staff periodically throughout the year. And we also meet regularly as our Rossmore leadership team, which is one teacher from each grade level. And we meet each month to really talk about ways to make things more exciting, some of our events, if there's any concerns or issues, and we work as a team to just make Rossmore better. Our weekly Monday messages go out every Monday, unless like today, they went out Tuesday morning because we didn't have school. But I work together with my team of PTA and friends, and we talk about instructional practices that we want to highlight, and it's really just another means of communication to share all the great things that are happening. And I love that we've added our evening PTA meetings. That's pretty awesome because a lot of our parents couldn't always make the morning ones, so that's been super helpful. And if you notice that marquee over there, that's really neat. Thank you, Rossmore PTA in there. I know you guys are here, but you can see I was just advertising our Rossmore board meeting that's happening right now on the marquee. Yeah. So another thing that we did that was really cool is we surpassed our PTA membership goal. Do you guys remember that? And the deal was that I would be slimed. And so a picture speaks 1,000 words right there. And that's not just any slime that we bought. That was actually slime that was made in our STEM lab by our Knights.
That's disgusting.
Reading is a big deal at Rossmore. We have a reading celebration assembly where our entire school gets to be part of a big raffle once a month if we reach our reading goals. Our kindergartners even have a goal of reading 200 books. If you are in 2nd through 5th grade, you get to start working towards your million-word medal as well. It's seriously the biggest deal ever when you earn one of your million-word medals. I am so close to earning mine, I can't wait.
And we can't forget our Friday morning spirit assemblies. One of our fun traditions is our Friday morning spirit assemblies. We have a blast because we start off our day dancing and singing. As you can see, some of our teachers engage in the fun competitions as well. Who wouldn't want to start their day like that?
This year, I was fortunate enough to help Miss Belsha run our special Veterans Day Assembly. It was such a special day to have helped honor our veterans or those who are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces.
The best thing about going to Rossmore is that we are all future Griffins and we enjoy celebrating College Day each month. We not only celebrate College Day, but we also walk to school together. This year, we had a huge event on National Walk to School Day where a local law enforcement, a police dog, firefighters, a helicopter, and I'm pretty sure half our school attended. What a blast this was.
Our nights are definitely college-bound. By celebrating college days, it has helped us to be excited about our future. I haven't decided yet, but I think I want to attend Oklahoma University or UCLA.
And I want to attend UCSB. Just saying, it's important to set these goals as college is just around the corner.
That's right. And in case you haven't noticed, we are all about Night Pride here at Rossmore. So it's really cool because each trimester, teachers get to pick 5 students that really excel in showing pride on our campus at all times, inside the classroom, outside, and they actually talk about each student at the assemblies. So you can tell how excited they are, and look at their faces. They're just like, woo, I made it, and they really should be. So we love our Night Pride Awards. Another great thing that we started this summer is our kindergarten Playdate, and that's our TK and kindergarten families, and so far about a week before school starts, we head to Rossmore Park, and the kiddos get to meet other families, play, and it really just, honestly, I think some of them are starting their friendships on that day, and they're probably going to have them all the way till they're Griffins. But it was a great way for our families to get to know each other and for the kiddos not to be so scared and to see some familiar faces on the first day of school. And we love our Rossmore Garden, our PTA. This is a Saturday. They're working on the Rossmore Garden. They love it. So we're getting it ready. It's super exciting. It's really going to be a resource that we can use to teach our students, and they're excited to grow fruits and vegetables. So as you can tell, we're just waiting for that to get started. So it is extremely important at Rossmore that we ensure a safe, healthy, and drug-free environment. We always enjoy Peace Week and Red Ribbon Week. Teachers utilize our Too Good for Drugs and Too Good for Violence curriculum. And really, we teach the students positive ways to deal with conflict safely and how to respond to peer pressure.
We also have themes each day that we participate in dressing up like superheroes to ensure a safe school, and Crazy Hair Day where we can all creatively express ourselves.
Look at that. That's Mrs. Frere's hair. I love it. She's over there hiding. Good job, Miss Frere. This year, another really cool thing that we've done is we have launched our house system for the first time. So the last few years, our 5th grade team came together and they assigned one of King Arthur's Fearless Knights. There's 4 different knights that they chose: Galahad, Gawain, Lancelot, and Percival. And they would be, each classroom was assigned one of those houses, and they would compete all year long for the House Cup. So we had 2 passionate teachers, Mrs. Nelson and Mrs. Thomas, that came together this year, and we launched it school-wide. And so what the kids did is we had this assembly, and you can see the balloons there. They walked through the arch, and they grabbed their bracelets. So do you guys see the black bracelets over there on the right? Those kids that got that color were sorted into the Galahad house. So it was a really fun thing, and it was just so excited for our knights to see which house are they going to be part of.
The House of Galahad, which represents courage. This is my house. Let's hear it, Galahad. I know you're out here tonight.
The House of Gawain, which represents loyalty. Anyone here from Gawain?
The House of Lancelot, which represents integrity. Let's hear it, Lancelot.
And my house, the House of Percival, which represents resiliency. Percival, don't let me down.
Good job, Percival. So as you can tell, this has been a wonderful way for us to build our school culture and continue to support Night Pride across our campus. We are working together to create ways, though, to motivate our students within achieving within the 4 A's: academics, athletics, activities, and the arts, which we talked about earlier tonight as well, both inside and outside the classroom. And we do this through fun, exciting bi-monthly house competitions and house meetings, I guess you would call it, which is school-wide. So it takes a lot of planning. The reason for this is it really supports bringing in smaller communities within our larger communities. So what I mean by that is we have teachers that are now in first grade that haven't met some of the fifth grade students, but now they're in the same house. So we have positive relationships that are being built across campus, and really it's just another means of support. And then we have students that get to really meet one another that they might not normally get to be with. So it's really been a positive addition.
Morgan and I are both in Night Leadership Council, which means we were responsible for helping during our first house meeting. During our house meeting, I helped run the Percival station. Students and teachers from all grade levels rotated to my station, and we worked together in a relay race to balance a book on our heads and walk from one location to another. This is a great way to get to know all the Knights in our house and to practice a growth mindset as we cheered each other on.
I am also a proud member of the Night Leadership Council, and I am in public speaking, which means I help run assemblies. As our school rotated through their stations, I taught them the Galahad house chant. When it comes to school spirit, Galahad's got it.
Each week's house points are added together from all classrooms, and we have a winning house that gets to fly their house on our flagpole each trimester.
The first trimester, the house Lancelot won, and we are very proud of their dedication and hard work to showing Night Pride on our campus.
So here at Rossmore, our team works together to meet our students' social and emotional needs as well as our academic needs to ensure that they're successful. This is our third year implementing PBIS, which is Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and it's really been a positive way for us to motivate our students. Also, our teachers are super excited this year, some of them that are participating in Conscious Discipline book study, and they're doing it with some other teachers at Lee Elementary, and they're learning how to align their classroom management and to support healthy social emotional learning for all students. We also love our campus supervisor, Mr. Lewis. He is always walking around our campus to keep us safe. We see him after hours. And because we take safety so seriously at Rossmore, we make sure that once a month we practice our emergency drills, because really, when an emergency happens, we need to make sure that we know how to react in that moment. And then I want to thank our wonderful district and board for providing our 3-hour violent intruder training that we had in October. The scenario-based training prepared us to disarm any intruder and to keep our students safe if the need would arise. So for District Board Priority 1, passionately pursuing academic excellence for all students, our team of educators are preparing eagles to soar and lions to roar every day. Our staff takes pride in really fostering an environment that ignites collaboration, communication, creativity, and innovation. And one of the ways that Rossmore shows this is through our data and also through our accomplishments. So for the past few years, as we know, we have been taking the CAS standardized assessment for the past few years. And with that being said, I am really thrilled to share that Rossmore Elementary is performing number 8 in English Language Arts and number 10 in Mathematics in all of Orange County. And in addition, we were honored with the 2018 California Distinguished School Award last year. Yay. So taking a look at our English Language Arts data, in 5th grade, our students have had an 8% growth over the last 3 years, and 90% of students are meeting or exceeding standards. Our 4th grade students are at 87% with a 12% growth. And lastly, our 3rd grade is at 76% meeting and exceeding standards. Taking a look at our math results, our students in 5th grade have grown to 85% of meeting and exceeding standards with a 15% growth. And in 4th grade, they are 85 with 4% growth over 3 years, and in 3rd grade at 81%. Based on the 3rd grade data this past year, we are greatly supporting in the area of mathematics and ELA to support the needs of those students who are now in 4th grade. So we're doing this by utilizing intervention to support the specific needs of students that aren't meeting or exceeding standards in ELA and mathematics during the school day with push and support, as well as also providing after-school intervention. And of course, we utilize our LCFF funds to support instructional resources and intervention for students in need. Specifically, in our 4th and 5th grades, we are utilizing our RTI model for math. We have added an additional credentialed teacher during this time, so our students are organized into 4 different classes instead of their 3 classes during math so that teachers can target students appropriately at their instructional level. So here at Rossmore, when you visit classrooms, you're going to see district signature practices in action, whether it's junior grade books, RFCC, thinking maps, depth and complexity, CGI, or reading and writing workshop. Our Knights are working hard, and our teachers are working really hard as well. This October, we had a professional development day that our whole staff participated in, and we focused on cross-grade level articulation in the area of writing workshop. The teachers collaborated with grade levels above them and below them. And really what we did is we wanted to find ways to best strengthen our writing program. So we took this time to realign our units of study, and we felt that that was really important because we see that writing is such a huge component in all subject areas.
Speaking of writing, one of my favorite subjects is writing workshop. I absolutely love when Miss Avalos turns on the music, gives a topic, and we run with it. For example, she teaches a mini lesson such as how to hook your reader or replacing dull words with strong words. Then I get to practice putting all these new strategies into my writing.
And in order to meet all students' needs at Rossmore, we do have an intensive reading lab as well that's offered to our kinder through 3rd grade Knights who need that second dose of systematic phonics instruction. And I'm very excited about our district benchmarks in 2nd through 5th grade. It's a format that's very similar to our CASP assessment format, but it allows yet another form of assessment for us to reflect and to pull small strategy groups or just to reteach. In addition, our teachers receive coaching in all signature practices, which you do see up there. That's Miss Evan Grandin, one of our district TOSAs, working with one of our kinder teachers. And coaching is truly a great support that supports our teachers while fostering collaborative relationships amongst our colleagues on campus. So at Rossmore, we continue to practice on the power of having a growth mindset. So everything we do is with a growth mindset in mind.
That's right. We start each year off by identifying the difference between a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. When we returned from winter break, we had an inspiring assembly from Dr. Blake Brandes, also known as the Doctor of Hip Hop, to start off 2019 right. He beatboxed inspirational songs about having a growth mindset and the power of yet.
So at Rossmore, we don't focus on failure. Rather, that effort is the path to mastery, which we have learned not to be afraid to embrace challenges.
Also, Ms. Belsha, I remind myself often that if Plan A didn't work, the alphabet still has 25 other letters. So I tell myself, stay cool.
Me too. When I struggle at something, I think of the acronym FAIL. First attempt isn't the last.
Those are great, and they remind me as well. Thank you, guys. So look at that. I told you they were amazing. So why don't you two share some of your favorite signature practices that you enjoy learning at Rossmore?
Great idea, Ms. Belsha. I love junior grade books. We have partnerships, we read independently, and sometimes in small groups. But junior grade books is different than our usual reading instruction because we all get to read the same text and come together to have a conversation. The class discussions are amazing. We respectfully share our ideas and why we think a certain way and back it up with evidence. Not only has this made me better at discussions, it has also taught me to add more evidence into my writing.
I agree. And cognitively guided instruction and number talks is a staple at Rossmore as well. So Morgan, why don't you share your experience with CGI?
It is great to be in our math groups this year. I love when we discuss word problems and number talks because I get to learn from my peers. We analyze the question and problem and discuss how we would solve it. I learn when I hear all the different strategies everyone uses to just solve one problem. CGI has made me a better math student, and I know all this hard work is preparing me for 6th grade.
That's right. And this is our 3rd year with our Rossmore STEM Lab. When students enter the STEM Lab, Mrs. Freitet provides interactive lessons for them that are geared around the next generation science standards, and they also utilize the engineering design process. We're really excited this year as well. thank you Friends of Rossmore for supporting this, that we were able to send Mrs. Freytet to Project Lead the Way as well. So there's Project Lead the Way lessons that are being focused in computer science this year. So Martin, why don't you describe the breakout? I think everyone will like it.
Oh yes, our classroom was challenged to participate in the USS Breakout Mission Solar System, a lesson Ms. Freytet had us do. It was quite a challenge to break the code. We had to work together, use specific websites, find physical clues in the classroom, and refer to knowledge that we had already learned in class. We really thought outside the box to, well, break the code and open the box. Let's show you what we mean.
You are confirmed for launch on November 27th, 2035.
I noticed something. I'm so proud of myself. I noticed that the words that pop out would spell a sentence. I'm so happy about that. So after we do this, okay, is this?
Today's mission had to do with the solar system, which our fifth graders are diving into their classrooms. They're learning about it there. So in here I wanted to provide some energy and excitement about some of the things that they're going to be learning. So all of our clues were about finding patterns and developing those patterns, communicating and problem solving, and those clues had to do with the solar system.
Launching from Earth and then proceeding in the following order: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Please repeat back to confirm you've received.
You have to work as a team to find all the clues, and then if you complete it, and when you find a clue, you just feel that feeling of joy, and it makes everyone around you happy.
And as you can see, that's an example of the magic that takes place at Rossmore every single day. So I would like to say that none of this would be possible without the support of our visionary Board of Education, our dedicated Superintendent, Dr. Kropp, the work of Ed Services, and all of our district officials. So another huge part of what makes Rossmore so special and successful is the work and dedication that our teachers put forth every single day. Thank you, teachers. And also, the commitment from our Rossmore families. So Team Rossmore, you are amazing, and your work is inspirational. And so as you can see, I'm truly honored to be part of such a dedicated and inspiring team such as LaSalle, and we love Rossmore. Thank you.
What an amazing presentation. Thank you very much. And are there any questions or comments from the board? Yes.
Ms. Belsha, I just really think it's fabulous, the idea of taking the school and breaking it into 4 houses, because it is across the grade levels, and the kids really get to connect, and the teachers get to meet other kids, and kids get to meet other teachers. But I can't help but think of Harry Potter, and I want to know if you guys are ever going to have a Quidditch tournament.
We most likely will.
Well, let me know.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been really, really fun this year.
Rossmore Nights, do it right.
Yes.
That used to be the phrase. I don't know if it still is your motto. Thank you very much. And I think we're going to move on with your Heroes of the Heart.
Amazing. Sounds great. Thank you guys for helping out.
Woohoo!
So, Janet Murphy has always gone above and beyond to make Rossmore Elementary an amazing place for our nights. Although I have personally known and worked known her and worked with her for the past 3 years, it is clear that she has been fully committed to our community, our school, our parents, and the students at Rossmore for many, many years. It is a joy and an honor to present Ms. Janet Murphy as our 2019 Hero of the Heart. Come on up, Janet. So that's not it, Janet. No, you don't get to sit down. I like that. So when asking the Rossmore staff about Janet, many shared so many wonderful memories. Our community knows her that she is devoted to volunteering and literally will do whatever it takes to help better our school. Everyone knows that if there is a task that may not get a volunteer, no matter what, Janet will make it happen in the end if it means doing it herself. Over the last 9 years, Janet has made her mark here at Rossmore. By being a constant presence on our campus, she has been more than a classroom volunteer in her children's classrooms. She has devoted countless hours to PTA events and positions, and I know I'm going to miss something here, so, just forgive me a little bit, Janet. She was our PTA president for 2 years and is the current president of the PTA Council. Janet also took on the role of secretary for 1 year after that because she just couldn't get enough of our amazing PTA. Not only has she served as a room parent, but she also served as the room parent coordinator. She was the tree lot chair for 3 years, staff appreciation chair for a year, and worked tirelessly on our Monday messages for 2 years in a row. Every Sunday night, we were on the phone together. So we always see her enjoying her children at the Rossmore Carnival, but don't let that fool you. She was there bright and early, setting up, and she stays late cleaning up every year. More recently, Janet was our Rossmore Campout Chair, our variety show jester, script writer, and she even has been involved with our 5th grade t-shirt committee this year. I know, what doesn't she do? So in the midst of giving her all at Rossmore, Janet also is an amazing mother to 2 children, 5th grader Violet, and Violet, you can come on up if you want, because she's hiding, and former Knight Tristan, who's an 8th grader at Oak. Is Tristan here as well? Come on, guys. So not only did she have 2 beautiful children, does have 2 beautiful children that attend here, she also attended Rossmore as a child. I know. She truly is a Rossmore Knight. So when speaking to Janet about what motivates and inspires her to volunteer, she shared, volunteering and spending time at Rossmore Elementary is my hobby and my passion. It is what makes me feel enriched and satisfied. She goes on to share, it's kind of a selfish reason because I volunteer because it makes me happy and I feel good. Here at Rossmore, we all know Janet is far from selfish. We feel blessed to have had her dedication at Rossmore over the years and will enjoy our last few months with her as her daughter finishes her 5th grade year. Janet is one of a kind, and she truly believes that the partnership with the community, parents, and teachers is crucial for all of us to provide unlimited possibilities to all of our students and families. So we want to thank you, Janet Murphy, for being committed to our students at Rossmore Elementary. We are blessed to have you here as part of our Rossmore family. On behalf of the Rossmore staff, I am truly proud to honor you as our 2019 Hero of the Heart. And although this is her 9th and last year as a parent at Rossmore, her spirit will live on for many years to come.
Thank you so much. I was not expecting to say anything. I should have asked in advance, but thank you so much. This is such an honor and a privilege to be here tonight, and it has been an honor and a privilege to be a parent here in this school district and to have so many opportunities to participate in my children's education and participate in the community and to and just really enjoy every step of my children growing up. And I just love LaSalle, I love Rossmore, I love Seal Beach, I love Long Beach, and just all of our families. And just thank you so much. It's an honor.
Janet, so I'm also very lucky because Janet is my neighbor. So Janet, do you have other guests here with you in the audience this evening?
I do. My mother and
That's awesome. Thank you.
I would just like to say that I attend most of the PTA council meetings, and Janet, you are organized, on task, get the big picture, and get the work done for the kids. I really appreciate your leadership, and this is a well-deserved award.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Rossmore. What a great night.
You're welcome.
Great nights.
Yeah.
And Dr. Kropp, I believe you are next. You and, yes? And no? Yes.
Yes, and Emmy.
That- Woohoo!
We have amazing employees, and every year we get to honor 3 of our classified employees, and it really is a tough decision, but someone always shines above the rest and really exemplifies what we hope to have as the very best. And so one of our district's classified employees of the year is from Rossmore, you guys. And so I'm going to turn this over. I went too close. I'm going to turn this over to Celeste that will introduce her and talk a little bit about this person, and then to Amy. Mrs. Belsha.
Madam President, distinguished members of the board, executive cabinet, and members of the community, good evening. My name is Celeste Kalubaki. I'm the Director of Food Services, and we are very fortunate to have Miss Imelda Hernandez as part of our team. Tonight we recognize and celebrate her as one of our employees of the year. And Imelda has been with the district for 8 years. And I have the joy of working with her for the last 4.5 years that I've been with the district. And she is such a wonderful person. She is very professional. She is very diligent, reliable, and most of all, she's very humble and a very genuine person. She takes care of our children with a lot of tender, loving care. We call it TLC in the business, in the food services business. And from the food that she prepares and cooks up to the service that she gives them, every day she brights up the room with her warm smile and with her loving care. Every day she comes to work ready, even if she's a very hardworking woman. She has 2 jobs. And sometimes they work her really hard in the other job. And she works more than 10 hours, but when she steps into Los Al, she is ready to work. She is joyful and happy, and she's very contagious. And I hope that she infects everybody with it. She's a wonderful mother to her son, Gio, and she demonstrates that every day. Is she here? Is he here? With her patience and nurturing ways with our children. She actually makes the children feel very special. She remembers their birthdays. She greets them. Sometimes out of her own pocket, she buys them trinkets to just make their day more enjoyable, especially if they're having a little bit of a not so happy day. She tries and brightens that up for them. And Imelda, in behalf of Food Services and our school district, we thank you for your excellent service. We love having you in our department. I hope you're still young, and we hope if it's not too much to ask for, we hope that you will continue to serve Los Al in your loving manner and your nurturing way, and until you retire, you're old and gray. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Sorry, we're not done. I'll be brief, but I really feel that this is just someone who just so deserves this award. Imelda Hernandez is amazing. Every day she walks through those doors with a smile. Even if I'm upset about something, I'm just like, oh, okay, we're in a good mood. That's what we're doing. And she's so great. I mean, even like just a few months ago, our TK and kinder students were having so much trouble getting through the lunch line. She stayed after work and made these little cards for them, with their PIN numbers on it. And last year, our 4th grade class in Miss Prutzos' class, they put together a video about her, interviewed her, and submitted it to be our favorite lunch lady. It was just there. She really is such a special person, and I can speak on behalf of the Rossmore staff that we feel just so blessed to have her on our team because she's a hardworking person and she does whatever it takes every day. So thank you so much, Imelda, for being who you are.
While we're waiting for our board president to come down, Imelda, can you introduce anyone who's here with you tonight?
Sure.
So your turn.
Okay.
And you got to talk in there.
Thank you. So right now I brought, I have friends and family here. So I have my coworker, Karina. I could not do this without her, so she's here. I have my sister hanging out in the corner, my mom. I have they're pretty much my adopted brothers and sisters, Neo Ducas, with their 2 little babies. Giovanni's hiding in the corner. I lost my mom. Oh, there, she's right there next to them. And then my colleagues from the bakery came to support me.
Awesome.
2 of them right here. So honestly, I couldn't do any of this without all of the support. So I'm really thankful for everyone for showing up and being here. Thank you, guys.
We like to give our Employee of the Year an award that will stay with them and have you always know how important you are to us and how important you are to our heart and to the heart of all these children. And years will go by and you'll think back at how many different lives you touched. And I can just tell by your smile that you do that in a very easy way. Thank you very much for being so wonderful.
Thank you guys so much for always remembering your number. I see you guys. Teaching the little ones, remember their lunch number. Take your fruits and veggies. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Amy and Celeste as well. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back.
Melda, we also have something here from the Personnel Commission. I thought I'd hand this off real quickly to you.
Imelda? There we go. Okay. Next up, yes, please, everybody, we are getting to a place of being almost to our recess, and I would ask anybody who has, if you can, students, be able to stay, anybody who's performed, part of Rossmore, got an award this evening, because we'd like to take some photos during our recess. So we're getting there. And Mr. Pulver, Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam President, esteemed members of the board. Tonight we are going to be introducing our school resource officer, who is newly coming onto board with us, working with us. We're very fortunate that we have an amazing relationship, thankful to the city of Los Alamitos, the city of Seal Beach, who really partners with us as a school district to provide a school resource officer. Tonight, the Los Alamitos City Council is actually in session as well, and they would have been here tonight as we're introducing Officer Scott Watkins. Would you, Sean Watkins, excuse me. Sean, will you come on over? And Captain Carr is also here, and our Director of Safety, Chris Velasic, you can join me up here. But Officer Watkins, yeah, I think we should give it up, right? So Sean's been with the force since 2016. He's also an Army veteran as well, and he is a proud father of 2 and 1 more on the way. He is willing to teach history as a backup as well because he majored in history, got his bachelor's degree there, and I'm going to let him share a little bit more information about some of the things that he does with the City of Seal Beach as well. He just finished up some training as well as a school resource officer, so allow me to introduce Officer Watkins.
many folks. I'm not a man of many words. Just wanted to tell you guys thank you for the opportunity of having Captain Carr and myself here tonight. Just a little bit about me. So I've been, like Dr. Pulver said, been with the Los Alamitos Police Department since 2016. Prior to that, I came from the Culver City Police Department, 2014, 2015. I was in the Army for 10 years before that. I'm from Delaware, so that's really a bit about me. I've worked patrol my whole career. I'm a field training officer and a firearms instructor with the police department. The department's a homeless liaison officer, so hopefully I can bring some of those experiences to the position of an SRO. I'm excited about the opportunity. It's a very unique opportunity to work as a school resource officer, as a police officer, because we're working in an educational environment. So I'm looking forward to all the challenges and opportunities that presents. But other than that, I appreciate you all having us, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Officer, I had the opportunity to meet Officer Watkins at our safety committee, and he came in and talked to our committee a little bit about what his background was, what he plans on doing and being involved in at the high school, and be aware that our SRO is usually stationed at the high school, but also has the opportunity to go to our other sites and be able to help there and answer any questions or anything as well. And so we're very, very happy to help you. Happy to have you. Thank you for coming this evening. I really do appreciate it. Does the board have any other comments or questions? Thank you very much. And stick around for a picture too. And as we get into our last presentation of the evening, Dr. Kropp.
You want to join me?
I would be happy to. Thank you. So as I alluded to a little bit earlier, this evening we want to honor many of the people who have been very instrumental in our LAIF Foundation. And it wasn't always called LAIF. And so we have 6 members that we'd like to honor this evening, and these people have all served on the board, and they served on the board for their term, which is 6 years, or longer, because before they had terms, some of them served longer than that as well. So I'd like to call up Dave Appling, and this is not an age order. That would be I can say that to him. Tom Strutz. Randy Hill. Sean Payne, who could not be here with us this evening, but he deserves an applause. And then the beauty and the brains behind LAIF, Teresa Blankenstein. And Michelle Boustone. So I'll let each of them say a little something, but Dave Appling started the Education Foundation and was a big part of it. And he had such an important part because he is such a trusted member of this community that when he started and said, this is what we're going to do, and this is what the money's for, and this is how we're going to go about doing it, he was heard and he was trusted. And so we owe a great deal to this man in so many different ways. And so as well as the other people, Tom Strutz, I served with Tom Strutz when I was president, and Tom used to be the head of the youth center, and so he really spread his wings and has a really great touch when it comes to the community. There's a little nepotism. Then there's my husband, Randy Hill, who served for 6 years. And I have to say, with all humbleness, that Randy really was an instrument in taking the Ed Foundation from where it was to the level that you see it at today. And I just have a great deal of pride in him for doing that, and he really has a vision and a heart for LaSalle and for our students. And then we have Teresa Blankenstein, and Teresa was on the foundation. We talked her into it at some point in time. And she has a tremendous background as a professional, and she brought that into the Ed Foundation to really help professionalize it and do some amazing things. And she's an incredible volunteer in our community, just helped us pass Measure G. So we're very grateful to her as well. And then Michelle Boustone, best laugh ever. So she was a little bit of the lightness in the room, but she has an incredible knack for really being able to, part of it is what her job is, but she has an incredibly creative mind, and she did just amazing things to really help bring a lot of fun and innovation to the Ed Foundation as well. And so I just want to say that we are very thankful to all of you, and yes, we'll give them applause.
So Mrs. Hill, President Hill really said everything. I just want to say a little special thank you, and I'm touched by the work that you do. I love you as individuals. It's just amazing. What just an amazing group. And the years and the dedication, the service that you've given to our students. Mwah. So we have a new tradition this year. So hang on, we have one sample. So this year we have black LaSalle jackets that you can only get by us giving them to you for very special recognition. But Teresa already got one for being on the Residents for Excellent Schools Committee. So sure, hers is the sample because we engrave your name after you stay at the break and make sure you try on what size. And then once we have it, so Teresa, yours is done. It has your name on it. So this is our gift to you, that you can always have it as something as really being recognized as someone really special, a special person for our district. So thank you very much, and I think they all want to say, take it away. Mm-hmm. Each one of you, if you'd like to say something. Board member emeritus.
Yeah, right. I would like to say that this LAIF board has done in the last 10 to 15 years is absolutely amazing, and it's all these people right here that have kept it going and kept it going. Today, it's amazing what all the things that they are doing, and it makes you very, very proud.
20 years ago, this man came up to me and asked me if I would help with the Education Foundation. And you can't say no to Dave. and I shared, we're both Rotarians, and I shared with our club today that everybody that followed him is really a seed from him, because it's all relationship building, and Dave is the guy that did it. Mm-hmm. I was on the board, I think it was 13 years. And it was just, I'm so proud of how far it's come. It's like seeing a child develop into an adult. It's just, and it's not yet reached its potential. And it'll all be up to us to make it what it can be. So thank you tonight.
It's just an honor to work with this district. We're amazing in so many ways, and I was actually at a meeting here getting a Hero of a Heart, and Randy Hill, I think, wrote my name down, and next thing I know, he talked me into it. It took a little while, but I've almost forgiven you. No, it's wonderful, and I'm very, very grateful for the LAIF staff. They've really done an amazing job that has really moved it forward, and so we need to really value Carrie Logue and Mike Kahn and the staff, and then of course the board as well. So it's just been an opportunity of a lifetime. So thank you.
I have to make this really low. I'm here today because of Dr. Andrew Pulver. Many years ago, when my now sophomore in high school was at this school, Dr. Pulver asked me to run Project LEAP. And somehow, along the way, I got involved in a class size reduction committee, and then all of a sudden I'm being asked to be on the LAIF board. Many, many years later now, I've had the gift to follow these amazing people, plus more. Sean Payne, who's not here, my gosh. He deserves applause. Even though he's not here, he's actually an incredible member. One of the most important things about LAIF, and I won't keep you all here, one of the most important things about LAIF is that the people that work on the board and on staff are dedicated to kids and having kids do something better. And I was personally committed to introducing after-school programs into the school district because my kids, I wanted them to have some really great programs to go to after school. And so every dollar that you give to LAIF grows dramatically. We have right now the most amazing executive director of a nonprofit I have ever worked with, Carrie Logue, who has brought LAIF to a level that is so amazing so that we don't turn kids away for scholarships that want to do after-school programs and summer enrichment. So I am thrilled to still be a part of this. I still get asked to volunteer, even after being an alumni. I thought that got me a pass. It does not. Yeah. So thank you, board. You know, LAIF works very closely with the superintendent and the board, and I'm just so grateful to have given this, and I have many years left in me, so.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
I had to raise it up a little bit. I'd like to start off by echoing Tom's comments about Mr. Appling. You know, we have an amazing community, and it's the Dave Applings that make it that way. And I'm really happy that you all get to be here and hear that. And I know he's, you know, maybe you're newer and you don't know him, but he's a really special man. And I'm honored to be on any platform that he stands on. And I'm honored to be with all of these people. They're a great group. This is really a fine group. But I do want to acknowledge that Andrea Reed has played a special role. She's the one who transformed us, who really expanded our reach to so many children and created so many opportunities for them. So I personally want to say thank you. And also Dr. Kropp, her support has been phenomenal. You know, it takes a team, and a team has to have a leader, and Dr. Kropp has led this group. I mean, she hasn't officially led it, but she has given us the blessing and paved the way, and we collaborated a lot together, and I'm very grateful for her too, so thank you very much.
And Michelle did speak about the executive director, Carrie, and I would like to recognize her and have her stand up. Yes. Ms. Lowe. Carrie's the one who's in charge of getting all these people to do what they've done and doing all the great stuff, and she does an amazing job with that. So we're very grateful for you as well. So anything else, Dr. Kropp? So we are going to go into recess now, and so those of you who I've asked to stay around to take pictures, please do that. Also, students, are you listening carefully? Oh my goodness, yay! So you need to check with you need to have your picture taken, and then you need to check with your parents because there are cookies out in the reception area, okay? So let's take your pictures first, and Rossmore's pictures first, and then we'll go forward with everybody else. Thank you. We'll take a small recess. Yes, I know. That was awesome.
Really nice people.
All right, we are going to bring the meeting back into order out of recess. And this is our time and our opportunity for community and staff participation. Ms. Tina, do we have any cards? So we will go into information and presentations. And it looks like we have no presentations this evening, if I am reading my agenda correctly. Correct. And so we will move on to our consent calendar. And I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve consent item A through P and R.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion about our consent calendar? I would like to make just a quick comment and say that what consent items are they are items that are on our agenda that are very routine business. And so we usually approve them all at one time. If there's something that we feel needs to be highlighted or discussed, any of us have the opportunity to pull that item and to be able to make sure that we are getting a full discussion of that. We also do, if we have questions regarding these things, there may be a small minor question here or there, then we send those in to staff and staff sends back those answers so that we're better educated when we come into a board meeting to be able to make those decisions and be able to vote on those things and have those discussions. So we currently have a motion for A through P and R, and we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Diana?
Yes.
Am I allowed to say one thing?
You're allowed to say
Absolutely.
No, I just want to say that I'm thrilled beyond words that Dr. Roberts from the Little Rock Niner is coming to the high school. I think that is the most phenomenal thing. There's not a whole lot of years. He's older than me, so I know there's not a ton of years left. And I'm so thankful to get this opportunity, and I hope our community shows up in mass.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. And they would contact, I believe, Mrs. Reed's office if they wanted more information regarding that. The next item that is on the agenda is consent item 10Q, and I asked for this item to be pulled because this is a memorandum of understanding with Anaheim Regional Medical Center regarding a program that is going to be able to help our staff and be able to help with the cessation issues that we're having, which is really vaping. That's a lot of the issues that are out there right now, and we want to be able to give our students a program that if they have a problem or if they get disciplined because of this, we want to be able to help them get past that, understand what the ramifications are, and be able to help them live really healthy lives. And so I pulled that just so that we could have a little bit of an understanding of what it was and a discussion about it.
I would like to make a comment.
And so I've made a motion, and we have a second, and now discussion on the item.
What I wanted to say is that this board and this administration has really taken a hard look at how we deal with infractions by members of by our students. I have always felt that suspending anyone and having them go home and stay at home and play video games for 1 or 2 days or 3 days is not productive for the student, for the situation they were in, and obviously for their education and for the school sites. So we've been investigating different ways which to be more proactive, have the student be more involved, and have them think about the consequences of their actions. And this is just another one of the programs that we have set up that we are in the process of setting up. So if a student does vape and is caught for that, instead of suspending them from school, we will ask for them, would you please take this class so that they can get a lot of education and perhaps reflect on their life choices and not necessarily get behind in school, and will therefore have a better life. That's all I want.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Gattulli. Any more questions? Yes.
Madam President, esteemed members of the board, there's 2 different classes or separate classes for our middle school students. It's a 4-part series, and then a separate class for our high school as well, 4-part series, and then a second set of series for any repeat offenses as well. So really there could be 8 series need be.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pulver. Any other comments or questions? Then I would, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. The next, we move on to action items. And one of the action items is, and I know that the public may be a little bit confused. We're a little confused. So we're bringing back a revision of our board meeting dates. And we have eliminated just one date, and that is May 28th. And the reason we have done that is because it falls on the same evening as we have promotions. And the 21st was the baccalaureate. The 28th is related to promotions. And so we really ask the public to, as you may have known, we changed our school calendar. So now our promotions and our celebrations are changing. And so we're having to make those adaptations. So I would bring for approval the revision of the 2019 board meeting dates.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0.
I do have a question now.
Yes.
So we have no meeting in May.
That is correct. Oh, no, we have May 14th.
May 14th. Oh, yeah, May 14th.
May 14th.
Sorry about that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are moving on to approval of board representation assignments. And so the board, this is a large part of our responsibility, but our responsibility really goes much deeper than just board meetings. And so there are various committees and obligations that we make as board members where we commit to being on those various committees. And so we had a meeting, our last meeting, at the end of the meeting, we went through all of those committees and they were assigned, and everybody understands and understands and knows what their duties and responsibilities are. And so we are bringing that forward. Can I get a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? We had plenty of discussion before. So this is the results of our discussion. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. The next item we'd like to bring forward is an action item, and this is something called a resolution. And a resolution is when the board basically makes a statement about something that they feel is important, that they want the community to understand. And so this one is the adoption of Resolution 2018-2019, -22, Career Tech Month, Education Month. And Dr. Kropp talked a little bit about that earlier, but I would like Mrs. Gattulli to please go ahead and read this resolution.
Okay, I'm going to just read parts of it, highlights
Okay.
of it. But Career Technical Education Month is February 1st through the 28th, whereas career technical education provides Americans with school-to-career connection and is the backbone of a strong, well-educated workforce which fosters productivity in business and industry and contributes to American leadership in the international marketplace. And whereas career technical education prepares students to be college and career ready by providing core academic skills, employability skills, and technical job-specific skills, and giving all students leadership opportunities in their fields and in their communities. And whereas the ever-increasing cooperative effort of career technical educators, business, and industries stimulate the growth and vitality of our local economy and that of the entire nation by preparing graduates for career field forecasts to experience the largest and fastest growth in the next decade. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Los Alamitos Unified School District Board of Education does hereby support and designate February 1st through the 28th, 2019, to be Career Technical Education Month.
Thank you, Mrs. Gattulli. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I so move.
Second.
As it has been moved and seconded, all those in favor, this is a roll call, I do believe.
Is Mrs. Russell? Aye. Mr. Boyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
Ms. Cattouli.
Aye.
And Mrs. Davidson.
Aye.
Next, we will move on to the adoption of Resolution 2018-2019, Religious Freedom 2019. And Mr. Boyer brought this forward to us, and I would like him to speak to it, please.
So as we celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King, and as we, as Americans, remind ourselves of what he accomplished in our religious freedoms, I just saw this was something that I felt we as a board could bring forward for our district as we all work with our different groups and with our new task force. And I just thought it would be something to commemorate Martin Luther King and all that he has represented in our district and in our country and everything. So that's why I brought it forward.
And would you like to read any of it?
Oh, I would. So I wasn't sure. So I would like to read it. So whereas the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom, our country's first legal safeguard for religious liberty, was adopted on January 16, 1786, and whereas since 1993, the President of the United States has issued a proclamation on the importance of religious liberty, which designates January 16th as Religious Freedom Day, and whereas our nation's founders recognized the importance of religious freedom and secured this liberty in the words of the First Amendment, declaring that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And whereas the free exercise of religion has undergirded the social efforts of many Americans, notably Dr. Martin Luther King, whose birthday was on January 15th, we commemorate each year. And whereas the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 18, declares everyone has a right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, including the right to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. And in spite of this, religious freedom continues to face challenges, persecution, and coercion, violent and nonviolent, around the world. And whereas our country has embraced a unique tradition of religious liberty that has prevented religious domination, conflict, and persecution, and nurtured an environment where religion has flourished and where people have been left free to choose which faith they shall follow, or for none at all. Now, therefore, the Los Alamitos Unified School District Board of Education encourages city government, community groups, schools, and places of worship to reaffirm their devotion to the principles of religious freedom and educate and reflect on the importance of religious liberty so it may continue to secure as part of our nation's fabric. So we encourage citizens and government to be mindful of the principles of religious liberty in their decisions, attitudes, and actions. I'd also like to follow that with a reading of our board policy on community relations. And I just wanted to share this with the community. I really hope that 2019 will be a year of civility and a year of good community relations. And so the board has a policy, and I'm just going to read part of that there, and it's available, it's posted. It's our board policy 1010.5 if you want to look it up. So it says that the members of Los Alamitos Unified School District staff will treat parents and guardians, guests, and other members of the public with respect. They're entitled to expect the same in return. The district is committed to maintaining orderly educational and administrative process in keeping schools and administrative offices free from disruptions and preventing unauthorized persons from entering school or district premises. This policy promotes mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct among district employees, guests, parents, guardians, and the public. This policy is not intended to deprive any person of his or her right to freedom of expression, but only to maintain, to the extent possible and reasonable, a safe, harassment-free workplace for our students and staff. In the interest of presenting district employees as positive role models to children as well as the community at large, the district encourages positive communication and discourages volatile, hostile, or aggressive actions. This district seeks public cooperation with this endeavor. And thank you for letting me share this today.
Thank you very much, Dave. That's much appreciated. So I would like a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
I believe a roll call again.
Mrs. Russell? Aye. Mr. Boyer?
Aye.
Mrs. Hill?
Aye.
Ms. Cattouli?
Aye.
And Mrs. Davidson?
Aye.
And I forgot to ask if there was any further discussion. We good?
We're
okay.
Good. It's good. We need to play nicely with one another every day.
The next item, now, the vice president clerk is not supposed to make the president giggle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Probably won't happen again.
The next item is the approval of resolution of board compensation for missed meeting, and this is for Mrs. Russell. And I'll make a motion that we approve this.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Russell? Aye. Mr. Boyer?
Aye.
Mrs. Hill?
Aye.
Mrs. Cattouli?
Aye.
And Mrs. Davidson?
Aye.
Our next item is the approval of our warrants, and our warrants for this period are 1.3, almost 1.4 million, and we all have the opportunity to look at every single warrant, which is basically a check that is written, and be able to ask any clarifying questions that we need related to them. I make a motion that we approve these warrants.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. We can pay our bills. Next is the acceptance of donations. We, as I think has really been represented this evening, we have an extremely generous community. This is a community that believes in its schools, believes in its children, believes in the youth of America in their community, and really wants to do whatever they can to help. And many of the things that they do to help is make lovely donations to the district. And you can see that to date, we have over $1 million in donations, and monetary donations during this period of time was almost $23,000. So I'd like a motion to accept those donations.
Also move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Really, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. The next item that we are going to go into is the classified personnel report. Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam President, esteemed members of the board. Classified personnel report represents the personnel actions from our last board meeting on the classified side. There were none for the certificated.
Thank you very much. And I am to read the considerations of approval of these. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was two different items.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Now we move on to, I, J, and K, and I'll read them individually. If I could get a motion and get a second, and then we'll kind of move through them. So item 11I is the Assistant Superintendent in Human Resources. This is a contract pursuant to Government Code 54953, Subdivision C3. The board provides an oral summary of the salary or fringe benefits of the following local agency executives. These are renewals of our contracts, and they were renewals of our contracts that we are not making a change to the salary. We are strictly renewing the contracts for additional 3 years. And so I'll read what the term is for each one of them. So Assistant Superintendent in Human Relations, term February 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2022. Salary is at a step 5 of the administrative salary schedule, which is $219,850 annually. There is an annual longevity stipend of $3,298 a year for years 17, 21, 24, and 27. There is an annual doctorate stipend of $1,000 if it applies, and then there is a mileage allowance of $337 per month. And that is item 11I. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. The next one is 11J. That's Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. The term is February 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2022. This contract is a salary step 4 of the administrative salary schedule, and that's $201,657 annually. There's an annual longevity stipend of $3,298 at years 17, 21, 24, and 27. There is an annual doctorate stipend of $1,000 if it applies, and there is a mileage allowance of $337 per month. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Last one, item 11K, Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. Same term, which is February 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2022. The salary is at a Step 5 administrative salary schedule of $219,850 annually. There's the longevity stipend of $32.98 at years 17, 21, 24, and 27. Annual doctorate stipend of $1,000 if it applies, and then a mileage allowance of $337. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. We have moved those 3 assistant superintendent contracts forward. Now we are on to communication. I will start with Mrs. Russell.
Well, I just wanted to say, I'm sure everybody in the community is aware of it by this time that we are in the process of doing a search for our next superintendent of the Los Alamitos Unified School District. And we have had a process where we've had a forum for people to come and speak, as well as individual groups of people. And I want to thank everyone who has participated. We also had an online survey, and our advisors, leadership associates, have said that they were just really impressed with the fact we had so many community members put forth their ideas and what they would like to see in the community. Rest assured, this board will, at least I will personally take this very seriously. And it's not to say this is our first rodeo, because I've done 2 processes, with one where we did an outside search and one where we chose from the inside. And I trust that this board will make a decision based on the best information that we have put forward, and we'll be looking at, I have already looked at all the input from the various groups, and I've received emails and phone calls, and rest assured, I will take them all very seriously and move forward from there. And that's all I have to say tonight.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Russell. Mr. Boyer.
Okay. I will just tag along to what Karen said. This is my 3rd time going through this process of looking for a superintendent, and the board is taking it very seriously, and we're using the professionals, leadership associates, and so we'll be meeting with them and following that process. I do appreciate and want to thank the community for taking time to come out and really give us input, and I'm looking forward to hearing that input from leadership associates tomorrow. It just shows the passion of our community and our parents and our employees and everybody that did it. And so thank you, and I'm looking forward to getting the summary of all of that and all the information tomorrow night. I attended the Operations Steering Committee meeting, so we're not done. We did pass a bond. We're just getting started, so there's a lot to come. There's a lot going on in the district. They're behind not only looking for a superintendent, but we're the human task force that we're putting together is going through the application process, tons of applications. Our bond oversight committee, tons of applications. So a lot of processes going on. I'm very pleased that we have now got our new SRO at the high school and the middle schools. So nice to meet Sean tonight, and I just know what a big part of our community he's going to play and just with our students and just having him around. And I just think he's excited, and I'm excited to have him, and I think he's going to be a great asset. And I just want to thank the cities of Seal Beach and Los Alamitos and the district. It's a partnership, and if you see something, say something, and we've got an officer that's dedicated to help us with our students. And lastly, I attended, along with several folks, the Los Alamitos Chamber of Commerce installation gala, which was quite fun, and lots of folks in our community there, folks from our Ed Foundation, folks from our community, and it was just a very nice event, and I realized how much support we do get from our community members, our businesses, and from the Chamber, and a thank you to them for their continued support. And back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boyer. Miss Marvelson. Miss Davidson. I think I need a cup of coffee before we go into closed session. Miss Davidson, I'm sorry.
I, too, got to go to the chamber dinner. It was very exciting seeing Andrew get installed, and it was fun being in the community with everybody dressed up and celebrating. I got to go with Andrea, with Mrs. Reed. I've got to get proper here, sorry. With Mrs. Reed to the high school to observe Leslie Weber's class, and it was outstanding, and it was such a great opportunity to see how we're offering support to all of our students so that they can be successful in college prep classes. I was incredibly impressed. Walked away and went back to the office and got to hear all about ed services and the things that you do. I've been a part of it as a teacher and TOSA, but there's so much more to it, and I really appreciate all the time that you spent with me. I know that your life is busy, complicated, and complex, so it was very kind of you to spend all that time, and I get to learn more of this over the next 2 weeks. I went to the Dac Advisory Committee, where it's all a new experience for me, learning how we are choosing to spend the funds that we get to make choices about. And it was really impressive because there were parents, administrators, teachers, and once again, Andrea and Melissa ran that meeting so smoothly and really educated me, so I thank you. And I want to thank the community, too, for coming onto this board. Gives me such a sense of pride about how dedicated and committed the members of this community are to advancing our school district with the honoring of all of the LAIF members, and then all of the applications for the Oversight Committee, and 107 applications for the task force, 400 people showing up to speak about the superintendent search now that Sherry's broken our hearts, and over 1,000 surveys. This is a community, we are a small community, and yet we have so many people who care, so I really applaud them. And I'm really appreciative of all of you and what you do to coordinate that and bring it together. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Gajuli.
I'm going to add on to that the response from our community that we have received for our superintendent search is so informative, very, very interesting, and I don't want to say overwhelming, but the only other word I can come up with is surprising, and I don't think that's a good word either. It is impressive. That's the word I want. It is impressive that so many people care so much to fill out surveys, send emails or write a letter, attend information nights, and figure out what they're doing and to share how they feel. We like to think we know what's happening in our community. I cannot tell you that I know what's happening all through the community because the community is just too big and so many things are happening all the time. But it's very important for board members to see other outlooks. And so I really appreciate getting this information. I really do. Our ROP, I'm going to do some ROP stuff now. That's for career technical education. We have selected our teacher of the year, and he is a graphic arts instructor from the Placentia Yorba Linda School District, and his name is Reed Peterson. And we surprised him with balloons, telling him he's going to be our teacher of the year. And he's very popular at El Camino High School, and he was a graphics artist in industry for 20 years, and then he basically said, this isn't as, I still like being creative, but this job isn't fun. So he got his career technical ed credential, and he's phenomenal, and he catches kids, and it's wonderful. Also, our own Marianne Schaefer, who is our career guidance specialist, was honored as one of our employees of what we do is called Shine a Spotlight On, and she was chosen from Los Alamitos, and what happens is that the site administrator talks about the individual for a bit, and we get to know her a little bit better. And I also want to thank her very much because this particular month where we just passed the resolution for career technical ed, that she is putting together the mentor breakfast. And I think it is within the consortium of North Orange County Regional Occupation Program, the largest mentor breakfast that is put on. So she does a phenomenal job. I was able to do a walkthrough at McCullough with Dr. Pulver, and it's so great to see the kids learning and the teachers teaching. They're doing great things over there. I also attended the first District Advisory Committee meeting with Mrs. Davidson, and it's a good group, and we don't get to deal with a large amount of funds, but it is some funds, and we do have some discretion on it. And between mandates and salary and health and welfare and paying for electricity and gas and making sure our transportation works, we really don't have a lot of money that we can spend how we would really like to. So that's why I always like being on that meeting, on that committee, because you really get to figure out, well, okay, we can really push our goals forward through there. So thank you very much, Mrs. Reed, for heading that up. I was also attended the Weaver PTA meeting. They're a good group, and they're going forward there. I would like to also thank the board for approving my Ledge Action trip coming up in March. I'm going to be attending, I'll be with California School Boards Association. I'll spend a day in Sacramento telling those legislators once more what they need to do to make LaSalle even better. I don't know if I'm very successful, but I feel better afterwards. And the last thing I want to throw out is the King and Queen court contest that they're having through LAIF. It's coming to a culmination. There's still some activities coming up. They have really come up with lots of fun activities to do, and I just want to encourage everyone in the community to go on to the website, which is laif4kids.org, and support whoever you would like to. But these are 4 couples in our community who've really stepped up and are putting themselves out there to do great things for our students, and I just really appreciate it. That's it.
As a former queen herself.
That's right. I know their pain. That's all I can say. I really know their pain.
And thank you very much, Mrs. Catulli. A couple things. I was with Mr. Boyer at the Operations Steering Committee and had the opportunity to talk a little bit about what our superintendent search looked like, what we were doing, what our process was, and then also got to thank Operating Steering Committee for really helping so much with Measure G, because they were a big contributor to that and helping us get that passed. Also had the opportunity with Ms. Davidson and Mr. Boyer to go to the Chamber Gala, and that was very fun. My husband was used kind of as the goat, but that's okay. I kind of enjoyed it. So it was a wonderful evening, and congratulations, Andrew. Thank you. And so Andrew's going to be helping on the LaSalle Chamber. Are you a member? You're not on the executive committee. You're on the board of directors. Thank you very much. And then I also had get the opportunity as the president to do agenda planning, and I always really appreciate having that opportunity to be able to really meet with executive cabinet and understand what our agenda looks like and what we need to be able to do and move forward. We did just have Martin Luther King Day, and I thought I heard this statistic on on the radio station. Now everybody will be kind of surprised, but it was KUSC, and yes, USC, and so it's a classical radio station that I really enjoy listening to. And the announcer was talking about that Martin Luther King is the only private citizen that has a national holiday. And I thought that was really, that is your little trivia. Mrs. Russell, you can use that at your trivia. But I thought that was really very interesting. And so it really makes us think about, as Mr. Boyer said in our resolution, about the idea of being civil to each other and being able to have discussions and discourse without having to be disrespectful to each other. That's really what this country is about. And I also really wanted to thank Mrs. Reed for the math workshop. It was just tremendous. And as some of you may know, I'm also the board member on a program called Pathways to Independence. And we had a board meeting last night, and we always have one of our clients, which are young women in need who want to get through college, that we put through college. And this young woman sat there, and she said that when she started college, because she had been in and out of so many schools and in a very bad childhood, she had to start the most remedial math program there was. And she had just gotten an A in statistics. And it just struck me how important math is for our students to be able to advance their lives and their careers. And so our students, even though I know our rigor is really tough, I believe that we give our students incredible support, and we want to do everything we can so that none of them have to face that when they go on to whatever their next steps are. I also had the unique opportunity to have a group of 4 gentlemen called Young Americans stay in my home. And so if you don't know, one of the other things that LAIF does is that they have a program this weekend with Young Americans. They're doing a workshop where they bring in students and they teach them to sing and dance and do numbers, but it's so much more than that. And being able to house these 4 Young Americans for 2 days. First of all, it was great to have young men back in my house, and I forgot how much they eat because you feed them and so on and so forth. But it really made me so, this community and our children make me so hopeful for this country, and then seeing these young men come in and how they are going to impact our children and our students in our community. It was just a real honor to be able to house them. And so I'm not sure if this will be on TV before, but the Young Americans are having a workshop this weekend through LAIF, and I think it'll be a lot of fun for several children. And so I think they take any age student from elementary school all the way through high school. Is that correct? 3rd and up. Thank you, Mrs. Reed. 3rd and up. And so I think if you've got time, take a look at that. And then I would like to finish by saying our superintendent search is proceeding with our process. We did get a tremendous amount of feedback. We have a board meeting tomorrow night to have that feedback presented to us, and for us then to take a look at that and make a determination of what our next step is. And so I do also want to thank staff for all you did to be able to help facilitate that. It was a long day and a lot, and we appreciate it very much, and all the input is very important to us in this next step that we take forward. That is it for my communication. So I am going to now take us back into closed session. Thank you.